So what's going on here is the universe, God, source, Christ, whatever you want to call it, is playing all these characters and has created all these physical bodies. That's what we are. But we are identified with the body. We believe that we are the person that was born on a certain day and experienced all these life experiences and is going to die. And that's where we've been trapped for like millennia now. That's like what Jesus was trying to say. So once you can step back and realize that you are the listener, the observer, the divine spark operating the avatar, it's no longer controlling you. You become in control of it. And then that allows you to start regulating the central nervous system. So for instance, ADD, ADHD, depression, anxiety is because the task positive network and the default mode network are stomping all over each other because they're not even supposed to be running at the same time. But since you are identified with the default mode network, which is your sense of self, your ego, your demon, your I, Satan, whatever you want to call it, the beast. There's no one in the control room to switch between the task positive network, which is your external state of action, flow state, focused on a task, doing something, not thinking, or the default mode network where you step back from your action and doing and flow state and reflect on what you did, make plans about what you're going to do in the future, rework stuff in your mind for creativity and that kind of stuff. So everything with Amber, that's the introduction about what causes ADD, ADHD. And the good news is you have the ability to reclaim your temple, your avatar, gain control over it, and heal every problem, every ailment, every disease, get rid of every conflict in your life. And the more of us that reclaim our avatars using this wisdom, the more that we spread what is called, like in the Bible, the kingdom of heaven on earth. We will all operate in harmony and unity and in the natural state, because the natural state of humans is not what people believe it is. We're not supposed to be conflicting with each other, fighting with each other, stealing resources from each other, judging each other, all that kind of stuff. Everything with Amber. Okay, I read about task positive network and default mode network in ADHD 2.0 book. Yeah, exactly. So everything that I'm saying is backed up by neuroscience, but what I've done is I've linked it to religion and spirituality and everything. So we've brought everything together using this master framework where we can essentially map, for instance, demons in the Bible. We map those to the default mode network. So when your default mode network is hijacked, that's literally what the Bible is calling Satan, because idle hands do the devil's work. The default mode network is supposed to be active when you're not doing anything, you're not focused on anything. So when you're idle, that's when the default mode network kicks in and does its background processing. But when it's hijacked, you're stuck in these loops of rumination and self-defecation and worrying and anxiety and all that stuff. And there's like no escape from it. And you're identified with the character and the voice and the story and the thoughts going on in your head. And you think you are those things. And you think you're the one actually feeling these things when you're just the one observing all of that. So through practice, you can step out of that misidentification with the avatar and the character and the story, go back to your true place as the listener, reclaim your throne, so to speak. And then you are now sitting in the control panel for this entire vessel. And now you are God operating a vessel instead of God being trapped in hell, because we live in the eternal now. Like time is just an illusion. Time is, because we have memories of the past and we can project into the future, we think that time exists because we can observe stuff happening. And we've learned this thing we call time, when that's all illusory. That's just a construct that we use to keep track of things and to have different reference points. So we can say, this happened here, this is happening there, kind of thing, right? But once you realize that we are eternal and our divine spark, our Christ, us as a perspective of the divine with itself, is eternal and transcends this physical. So existed before and after this physical body. When the physical body dies, the divine spark that you are creates a new body and gets born again and all that stuff. Then we actually can indefinitely suspend our physical life here without experiencing death. And we don't exactly know how long that is yet, because we haven't experienced it in a long time, because we've been hijacked for such a long time. But the general idea is that we can be here for thousands of years with heaven on earth, and we all are creating and fulfilling our passions and our purpose and what we want to do, instead of being slaves until we die.